All right. So welcome back, guys. So for this training, we're going to go through end to end of automation testing using C Sharp. So I would just go through some slides on the intro. Then from there, I'll go into the Visual Studio to go through how this is done. So in terms of setting up the test framework, what we're going to cover, how to download, install Visual Studio, integrate your Visual Studio with Visual Studio IDE, then creating your object, NuGet package, folder structure, and step definition, and running your test. So the first thing is download. If you go to visualstudio.microsoft.com, you'll be able to download the IDE from there. Click on download, then you will see different versions of Visual Studio IDE that you can use. I think if you want to use the community, it's a free version, so you should use the community version for this training. So once you download, it starts to continue to download. Then after during the installation, it's going to ask you to install. So check the net desktop development, then you continue installation. Then you need to restart your system. Then after that, you integrate SpecFlow extension with Visual Studio. How do you do that? You go to open Visual Studio, then you go to tools, you click on extension and update. Then after that, you should see this display, change to online, click on online, then also type SpecFlow at this end, then click on download to download. This is very important. You only do this once for your Visual Studio instance. If you have a new laptop, you need to do it again when you reinstall Visual Studio. So that should take you to that, and you should now restart your Visual Studio. So now let's go to the one that we're interested in, creating your projects. So let me go to Visual Studio. Okay, so I'll create a new project right now. New project. So I want to create a test project. I said we should always use test projects, and I will call this project training 9. Okay, I think I will see the training 8A. Training 8A. Then I want to store that in my training folder. Okay, I want to store that in my training folder with training A. Or let's see, let's store that. Okay, that's fine. I want to store that. Let me store that in training, under training. Okay, so and that's that. So my solution is training 8A, and I don't want to add it to Git for now, so that's okay. So I can click on OK, but make sure you are using unit test project on that test. So I know some people, they use a normal C# template, but I would advise people to use unit test project because we are actually creating a test project. So I'll close this one. That was the project I was running before, so I need to let that one go. So okay, this is our project that already been written. So this is the project. So we have unit test project that's already been created for us, so we don't need to do anything. Now, normally I advise people to just remove it. Let's leave that for now. So, and let's go back to this step. So we've clicked on new file, new project, and we've done all this step. We don't, so we did not add to source control, but because we don't need to. So the next step we say is the design architecture. So for us to do that, we need to add different data structure. So now we need to create different folder structures. Right click on your project, not on the solution, on the project. This is your project and that's your solution. Inside your solution you have the project. Right click on your project and then add new folder. So we want to create different folders that we need. The first folder is features. So enter. The next, another one also, you click on. So that's what I was saying. If you right click on your solution, you will see different things actually, but this is new solution project. So this is not, that's not what you're looking for. You right click on your project and you have page objects. So you create your definitions also. No, sorry, I kept on going there. Add new folder, step definitions. Then I think you can utilities. Okay, so I think that's for our folder structure for now. We add the other ones as we continue. So let's go back to the slide. So the next one is adding the NuGet packages. So you are meant to add some NuGet packages. So I'm going to bring them up. Yeah, the list. So let's go back. Right click and manage NuGet packages. Then click on browse. The first one, let's search for SpecFlow. Install. I want to show this again. Accept. Okay, that arrow shows that it's been installed. So we check the next one, and unit. So and unit installed. Then nunit.console install, nunit.runner install, then SpecFlow.nunit install. So let's go to it. When it's finished, let's go to Selenium. Selenium.webdriver install, Selenium.support. That's that one. Install. Then Selenium dot WebDriver IE for Internet Explorer. Custody. Comment for IE was a Selenium dot. Okay. Selenium.webdriver.ie. That's the same thing. I don't know why it's not. Well, yeah, okay. That's for IE. And also for Chrome, if you're going to use Chrome, I think I saw that right now. WebDriver, Chrome driver. And then for Firefox. And the last one that we need to do is nunit test, nunit 3 test adapter. Okay. Alright, so that is those NuGet packages installed. So that is the step. What you need to do, click on browse. I've done everything, so you can. So now the first feature file. So we need to create our feature files right now. Right click. On the last class we did login, so we're going to start with registration today. New. So, and I told you that if you don't see SpecFlow here, that means you've not been able to integrate SpecFlow with your Visual Studio. What you need to do is you need to go back and to the step to integrate SpecFlow to Visual Studio. But if you can see SpecFlow, that means all good. So now let's do registrations. Now this is our registration. So this you can fill in this step. So I don't have much of the time, so I would just copy from the one that we did was okay, it's gone. Okay, no problem. So think we have to. So this is basically only for information basis. So we're going to go through this feature file one after the other and try to use them. So, and let's go registration. Let's try to say valid registration scenario. Given I navigate. So when I okay, all right, 1 minute. Let's go to the site that we're going to use and see how that site works. So we're going to use this site, giveread.com, and we want to click on register. Then after that, we will click on all this. One way to do is to break them down into one feature file, one after the other. The another one is to put them together in that step. So let's try to break them down into one step per line. So which is like an I. And email, number, password. Okay, and I click on sign in. Sign up. In a test environment, you won't have a I am not a robot because you won't be able to click on it. So, and that's the point of having this particular capture, because it's to stop people from automating the site. So for a test environment, they will normally remove this so that you could be able to automate it without having to do this. But we leave this for now. We use test environment later. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay, then I should be registered. So that so you can see the um SpecFlow is written in BDD format, behavioral driven development, and it's written in given, when, and then. And you can have different given clause. Then you need to add them with and. So as you can see with the when I've got. So now that is that. Let's go to the slide again. So we've written our feature file. As the next one is your step definition. So to create your step definition, right click and say generate step definition. And then when you want to generate step definition, you need to locate where you want to generate to and say generate. Then also go to where the file is, my training 8a, and in my step definition, that's where I want to store it. Then you click on save. So that should change the color. Then that is done for you. So what that does is create another file. That's the registration steps. If you go to this file, you're going to see all your steps that you created with a pending scenario. So you've got that. So the next step now is for you to create your page object. So let's go to the page object. So okay, let's go. So we've done that. Before the hooks, you leave the hook for now. We do the page object now. So the next step now is for us to write our create our page object. So let's go to the site. This is the site that we want to do, and the first thing that we need to do is click on register. So we inspect that. So this is the element for the register link. Click, copy. Let's see the S path. Control F, paste S path. And I said never use an absolute S path. This is absolute S path because it's starting from HTML. You shouldn't use that. So we can leave that. So we are not going to use S path because of that. So what we're going to use now, as it is a link, it's got a link, we can use a link text for that. We can use a link text for that. Let's go to our code. So let's create our page object. Add new item. Page object, that's a class. So it's going to be page object registration. Registration page. So on this now, I'm going to say finds by. So that should bring a red underline for you. So if you click on the IntelliSense, you should be able to use the support page objects at the top. So then open bracket, and it's going to also tell you what you need to write. So the next one is how, then after how is your using. So how dot, we're going to use link text, then comma. So private. So that should be iWeb element. So need to add the Selenium to that. So, and I said we can as well put the get and set. What's that? Okay, that needs to be that. What's the issue there? So this is totally wrong. What you need to do is how is equal to, yeah. So that's what I need to do. Yeah. So that's for the register. So we do the same thing for the other buttons on the site. So that will click on register, and then we go to the first name. The first name is got an ID. Let's try to use the ID. I just copy that several times. So now, as we go along, let me start to be creating the method so that we don't lose focus of that. The first thing is registration. We want to click on registration. Void click. Want to click on that. So as register dot click. Then after that, we want to also do the public void. We want to enter first name. So how do we do that? We just say first name, because we want to enter into that first name. That's the first name dot send keys. We want to send some keys. What are the keys that we want to send? So we want to send username. Let's say it's my name. Okay, now we want to do a quick one, right? So here, maybe here, instead of this is even not. We want to say enter email address. So we want to pass that email address as a parameter. So let's say enter email address. Okay, let's continue. This one now, you can see it's now in purple, so it's different from the other one. So I can create the step definition for that. So go to step definition, I copy that, I go into the registration. So I can remove the other one with the email. I don't need this one again. But as well, you can leave it if you don't know what you're doing. So, but it's just going to be hanging there. So I paste that one. So this is your email address. So let's leave that. So I've not done for the last name, but I will leave that for now. So now for the email address, because of the time that we have, so I will change that to email. So now, okay, page object, sorry. So let's go to that page object and do the emails. For the email, you inspect it again. So our email has got name. Let's try to use name, and also it's got an ID. We can use any of those. So let's say name, or it's advisable to use an ID. So let's do ID. So it's got an ID. So let's use an ID as our page object. In our page object, we copy this. Okay, there's a mistake in the one I did for the link text. So this is not the, these are also an ID. That's the joy of copy and paste. You get to miss things. So that's an ID. So that should be email. Just to differentiate that, because some people get confused that maybe this is the same thing like that. So I'll change this particular name and I'll put email address. So it's not the same. This is not the same standard. It's a different. This is a variable that we're going to use. So the next one, like I said, we've done our page object for that element. So we're going to now enter public void enter email address. So, and this is email dot send keys. So, however, this is going to send for every time you run this test, it's going to be sending the. So, but that's not what you want. You want to also parameterize that, and we've done for the email address. So it's based on parameters. So you put your parameters at the top, and you pass it into that method, and our is email. So now instead of that, so you pass the email here. So, and just to make sure is people don't get confused, I can change that name. So yeah, that is that. So now we've done our page object, we've done our step definition. So the next step is to link this particular step definition for the page object for this email address. So I'm running, time is fast spent. So now what we need to do, let's go from one step. So let's save that one. So as you can see, that image passed as a parameter. Let's go for the first one, given that you navigate. So if you want to navigate, you have to have a driver to navigate to. So then we need to declare our driver. I'll quickly do that here. I will. Okay, hold on 1 minute. So just to, if you have time. So let's create quickly new. Let's create our hook quickly. So SpecFlow hook, that's what you want. SpecFlow hooks, that's what you want. So let's create our hooks and we call it only hooks and we add that. So inside the hooks, so this is going to have your before and after scenario. So what do you want to do before the scenario starts? I want to open my browser. So I can say iWeb element driver is equal to new, so then Chrome driver. So then let me bring the user, also this one. Okay, so that is the sorry, web driver, not web element. So yeah, so it's iWeb driver. So to make this available to even the after scenario, I'll bring it out into the class. So if I do that, then I remove the initialization. So that is that. So now I can make this to be static and public. Public, static. So if I make that public and static so that I can then be able to use it in anywhere I want without having to initialize it. So for here, I can now call my hooks. So then bring that in. Dot driver dot navigate. Let's see. Can go to URL. So which URL do I want to go? So that is that. So I've been able to, that should take me to that URL. So after that, what do I need to do? I need to maybe maximize the browser. So that should maximize the browse out for you. So the next one is this one. When you want to click on register. So when you want to click on register, we know that our page object for register is this one, is register page object. What we need to do is now we need to bring this page object into our step definition. How do you do that? We instantiate that at the top. We say registration. Registration page. Register. So we can bring down. So we add that. So now we bring a constructor that should instantiate the registration. Public. That's how to do the constructor. Then that should instantiate the registration. So by doing that, then we can use any method in the registration page object. So now if you now go here, we can say registration, that one we kept lowercase, dot, then we can use any of the method that we've already created. So this one is to click on register. So that's that. So the same way also we can do the same thing for the first name. We nearly done. So this is register dot enter first name. Then we've not done the last name, so but we've done this is what I'm particularly interested in. Dot. So for the email address, we know we are passing a parameter. So then this parameter is coming from this, which is your email. So you need to put that inside so that takes that parameter as an argument, and that's it. So then let's quickly do the login. Okay. Then after that, you click on sign up. So let's quickly do that. So this sign up has got, let's see if we can use CSS selector. Okay, that's fine. Let's try to use that. We are going to be using Chrome, as there's a question someone asked, are we using Chrome or IE? We are using Chrome browser. So okay, let's go. So we now want to do the same thing for our register, sign in, login. So we do the same thing. This is what I just copied, so I don't need. So I copy this. I want to do it for the sign up. So this is what I copied. I'm going to put it into the. Okay, now just to be clear. So I'll go back just to know that's what I want to put there. However, don't do the same mistake I did before. So this is no longer ID that we're using. We're using CSS selector here. So you need to know which selector you are using. So at this point is an ID, at this point is an ID, at this point is a link text. So depending on what you decide to use from the DOM, you need to write that. So then the next one now is to write our method public so void so click sign up. So then we just sign up dot click. So what do we need to do? We go to our step definition. We go and call the sign up from there. We say registration dot click sign up. So that's it. So what's going to happen is now we need to do one more thing, which is why that one was failing. Yes, we need to instantiate the element. So at this point, because we are using page object element, so I'll just Google that out quickly. So I say page object initialize page. So that is that. Okay, yeah, that's what you need to do. So you need to do something like that. Page factory dot that's for your page object. So I'll just copy that quickly. So at your page object, so for each of the page objects, you need to do similar thing also. So maybe just to make it easy for people, I'll put it at the top. So you need to create constructor for that particular page. So registration public registration page. A constructor is a name, is a method that's got the same as the class name. So that's a constructor. Inside that constructor, you put that. So this is page because that's Java. So page factory dot init element. That's the right one. So then your driver, our driver is dot driver. So then we need to bring that up and this. So that's what you need to do. Then I think we are set. So let's build our site again. And then we have So we are not using n unit, we're using this one that we did. So okay. So let's try to run it. It's a question. Can we have one method for all the elements? Yeah, you can combine them together in one method. So as everything like that, you can put them in one method. Well, I just use this as an example to see how you can break down nicely. Okay, there seems to be an issue. That's what the problem is. Okay, good. So we'll navigate. That's brilliant. Okay, maximize. Click on sign in. Cool. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, that's brilliant. So now, because we've not done for the last name, so I'm going to comment that out. So that will be an assignment for you guys to finish. So I would stop that. So what I'm going to do now is to comment the step I have not done. I have not done the I've not done this. So I'm not going to comment it from here. I think I will comment it from the step definition. If you want to comment a from the feature file rather, you need to just put the hash sign. So I've not done that. I haven't done this. I haven't entered password. I haven't confirmed password. I've done the click, then I haven't done this one. So I've done the one in white. So let's run that. So that's it going to the side. Then okay, the email address is entering the email address. So I'll conclude from this is entering this email address. So that's not what we want. We want a real email address. So we're going to pass that as a parameter, and then we do the final part, which is after your test. What happens? You need to close your browser so that you don't keep on hanging. That pass, which is fine. So, but this is not what we want. We want an email address. So we're going to say, for instance, let's say is test dot let's say test as my okay. Let's say this is our email address. Then that is going to be the email address that's going to send into the text box for the email. So the next part is now you want your test to close down the browser when you finish. So that's your after scenario. So where you're going to say driver dot, then you're going to close the browser, or you can say quit anyway. So let's say quit. Yeah. So now let's run that. Okay, that's it. So in summary, before we leave, what we did, we went through how to create this test framework from beginning. So where we create our test framework using file new project. After that, you put let's say that you make sure you click on unit test on your test template. Then you put the name of the project and the location that you want it. So then you click on OK. Then after that, we created our folders. You right click on your project and you click on add and you click on new folder. So then we created the feature file folder, page object folder, and also step definition and feature utilities folder. So the next step now is for us to create our step definition, our feature file. So we created our feature file, right click, and we click on add new item, and then we select SpecFlow feature file and we give the name registration, and that's it. We did then after that we enter what we think should be the scenario using getting, given, when, and then. Then after that we right click and we say generate step definitions. So that generates the step definition for us, and that step definition is stored in the step definition folder. Then after that we go to the page, we inspect the element and we put the element for the register, which is a link text that we decided to use, and we update we also did the same thing for the first name. So as we are creating for each of the elements, we also created a method. So for instance, for the registered link, so that we need to click after we created the element for that, we also create a corresponding method that will click on that particular element for register. Then after that we go to our registration step, and in our registration step we want to go to that step that confirm about the when you click on register button. So we now call that particular method that we have. Before we call that method, because we need to bring this particular class, our class for the page object. To bring that particular class for the page object, what we did was to first declare that particular page object. So we have registration page as a page object that register button is stored in. We declared it, and also after that we created a constructor, which is the name of the class that of the step definition. So then we instantiate that page object in there. So then our registration is now the instantiated page object. So we call that registration, and when we say dot, we put the dot, so all the methods that we created are displayed. So we use appropriate method for each of the step definition, and that's it. Then after that, we know there's also a step to navigate. We then go to that step to navigate. So for the step to navigate, we have to have a driver that we want to call. So because that's the first thing. So then what we did was to go to our utilities, created our hook, right click, add new item, and then we use the SpecFlow hooks. So that created the hook for us. So it created the hook for us, the before and the after scenario. Then what we did now was to say, okay, we want to use the Chrome driver. We put driver is equal to new Chrome. Before then, we instantiate or declare our driver. We make sure it's static so that we can be able to use them anywhere in the code without having to instantiate the driver. So we use our web driver, and then we also called the Chrome driver. So, and that means before our scenario starts, the Chrome driver will be opened. which allow the Chrome's browser to open. So then from there, we go back to our step definition. We use the driver. We say, Mr. Driver, please navigate and go to this particular URL. So that will open this URL for you that we put in the gifrit.com. So from there, we now, because it's going to open not maximize, we want our screen to be maximized. So we say manage window maximize for Mr. Driver. That is that for the navigate to site. Then also we click on register button. So if you go into that step definition, so the same way we did for the submit, for the sign in or sign up, we open the instance of that registration page and we say registration dot, then okay, this is not that. So let me go back to that, click on register. Okay, yeah, that's it. So click on register link, so that you click on that. So, and that is that. So, and we did not finish the other one, so I've commented that out. So we also did for the sign up also. That is what we've done today. Those are the steps, is end to end. So now what I want to do is, this is not required, so I'm going to remove this. It's not, so I don't need that. So I only have one test, so I can build my test now, clean off everything. When I clean, all this should disappear. So then I can rebuild again. So after rebuilding, then I can run the test when it finishes. So yeah, right click and then run test. So that will run that particular test we've done. So that's everything for today. Any question? Just to have it recorded. So the assignment is for you to look into the login page, and we've done the login scenario, and you need to do the invalid login scenarios and also finish the valid one also. That's the assignment. And also I want to say the workshop is on Saturday and it starts at 9 a.m. So registration starts at 8:30. So, and a lot of people have signified interest, almost 50 people. So you need to come early as possible to get a space. So it's so popular. So you need to come as early as possible to get a space. There is not much space. So, and also bring a working laptop. Bring a laptop that works. And I would advise you also to download this particular training that we've done, the one that we did last week, this one also, and even the two one that we did today. I'm going to upload them on GitHub. I will send it into the group. So please download them before you come. So if you don't know how to download them, I will send the information out into the group on how to download them, or in the next session that we're going to do right now, I will show how to download those repository. So please come with a working laptop. It's very important. So don't come with a laptop that's not working. Make sure that Visual Studio is installed on your laptop. I don't want you to come with a laptop that hasn't got Visual Studio and you don't have the repository already downloaded. It's very important. Those two things are important that you get. So registration starts at 8:30 and lectures start, or the workshop starts at 9. It's 9 on the dot of 9, and it's not going to be 9 so, and it finishes at 1:30. There will be break in between, and there will be light refreshment. So there will be light refreshment for people. So, and there will be break in between, and we want to make use of time. I think if you ask the people that came last time, it was very refreshing. And no, I think yeah, it was very useful. And so please make use of the opportunity and do come early, come early. And because some people came late last time and we are already far in the middle, they didn't actually be able to catch up and they had to drag the people behind. I don't want that to happen. So by the dot of 9, you need to be there. And if you are not there, we are not going to wait for anyone, to be honest. So we're going to start and we will not look back, to be honest. And to be honest, it's physical workshop. It's not going to be recorded. So, and I've also said for people that are interested in internship, this workshop is a prerequisite for the internship. Please make sure you come. So, and also at 2 o'clock, we're going to have the inaugurations program. So it's going to be 2 to 4. So the inauguration of the school formally. So we're going to be 2 to 4. So please also attend. And I've got the mayor coming. We've got even some councillors coming, and we've got the MP also being in attendance. So please do come. So I think that is that. If there's no other questions, so we meet on Saturday. For people that are interested in the gate, you can join me in a few minutes. All right, thank you everyone. Cheers.